finding love after 50, what are some of the green flags that this person you're with, there's some good indication here that this relationship could work? Thank you so much for joining us today on Second Act TV. I'm happy to welcome back one of my very favorite guests, motivational and transformational coach, Joni Caldwell Lerner. Joni, thanks so much for joining me again.
Oh, thank you, Silka. You know I always have a great time, and it's just such a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, you give great information, and I want to get right to our topic today because, the whole finding love after 50, going out there, starting new relationships, big topic here on Second Act. And we focus a lot on, well, on red flags, what to look out
Right.
for. This is a red flag. Don't go down this road. And I really want to focus more on the positive today is what are some of the green flags that this person you're with, there's some good indication here that this relationship could work. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Well, I love this today because all my coaching, one of the things that I talk about my clients is rewiring the brain. So, from caveman days and our limbic systems are wired to look for what's wrong, what's negative, what's out, the snake and the panther. It's a survival thing. And so many people focus on the negative. So if we can get them to look at the positive, to look at the green flag, so to speak, it's a way of rewiring the brain in this particular category. So it's perfect. I love it.
Yeah. Well, as I always do, I come across various articles that I think, have a good basis for a discussion with other experts out there. And here's one that I'll link to, and it has 24 different, signs to look for. And not that you have to have all these, but maybe, if half of them are missing, maybe that's an indication that,
Maybe
maybe
it's
this
not a
isn't,
match.
yeah, maybe this isn't a match. So let me handpick some of the ones I thought were important. And what the first one is obvious that psychologically the mindset is there for a new relationship, especially if you've come out of another relationship or divorce, and that there's been enough time between the breakup and now starting a new relationship.
Yeah, that's a big one. And not everybody is into coaching or therapy or sharing their innermost intimate thoughts with another human being. That might not be their style, but if they can do some writing about it, I'm angry about my divorce because I wish my life had turned out differently. And here's the thing, the people who walk away from a divorce and keep living in the past, what I say is it's not the thing that happened that's now causing the pain. It's the story we're attaching to what happened that's causing the pain. So I would invite people who are thinking about going out and dating, figure out a way to let go of the story and be now. Be right here, be right now, and clear up your side as much as possible, or else you're going to be sort of in that vibration of negativity from the past.
Yeah, and I guess since we're focusing on green flags, how do what is the green flag? I guess it's not hearing about your ex or negative things about your
Yes.
ex.
Good point. Let's go to the green flags. So you've got somebody who's ready for a relationship. They're not living in the past. They're not disparaging their ex. They're not. There's almost a gossipy quality sometimes to people, and that's usually because they want to feel better about somebody else. So somebody who's able to be present, who's not attached to or living in the victim story of the past. I don't care what the story was. That's a person who's present and emotionally ready.
Another good sign, I like this, and that's something you can tell right, at the beginning during the dating process is this person reliable? Do they follow through on commitments? Do they show up on time? Most of the time, yeah, sometimes we run late. But is that a habit or are they, yeah, they're reliable.
Yes, absolutely. I want somebody who's reliable, who's in integrity with themselves and with me and the universe, basically. If somebody's consistently, chronically late, and they're like, that's just the way I am, that's a red flag for me. So the green flag would be somebody who shows up on time, who keeps their commitments. And remember, the person who shows up chronically late or doesn't keep their commitments, it has to do with a self-esteem issue. They're not respecting themselves, let alone you. And that can be shifted. That behavior can be changed. Somebody out there may think, oh, I never realized that. I'm going to start being on time. It's one of the things I talk about to my clients too. It's an easy fix to have better self-esteem. You want self-esteem, do esteemable things.
Absolutely. Here's one. I'll just read it. That they're comfortable and secure enough with themselves to be satisfied with attention from you, from just you, and do not constantly seek out attention and admiration from others. This is a big one for me, and you can tell that early on in the dating process. I think they're signs, and then of course as you develop, are they secure enough in themselves?
Yes. So if they are thinking that the grass is always greener, that there's somebody maybe a little younger than me, or a little taller than me, or thinner than me, or maybe there's somebody else out there that, because, and here's the thing, Silke, this is critical. They're gleaning their self-worth or their self-esteem or their sense of self from something outside of themselves, which is this beautiful or handsome person, right? So that's the red flag. The green flag is somebody who is comfortable in themselves, who connects to you and isn't seeking something else, something more, something better, something different, because they're trying to feel something inside of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another big one for me. Do they have friends? Do they have at least one or two people that date back a bit?
Yeah, that tells you that they have a stability, that they have an emotional IQ of connectability. They don't have to have a whole bunch of friends. As we grow older, at least in my experience, my friend pool has narrowed, but they are valuable friends. They are quality friends. But also, if they have no relationship with their family, why? What's going on there? Because there's something called a pattern of one. If somebody does something once, they'll do it again. So you want to know kind of what's going on there. But if they have good relationships with their children, it doesn't have to be all of them, because that's not always possible, or their parents or their friends, then this person has the ability to have empathy, the ability to listen to another person, to care about another person. These are great green flags.
Yeah, exactly. And there are lots of reasons why some people may have lost touch with friends, with family, with whatever, and that doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. But again, focusing on the green flag, if there is ample evidence that this person has friends, that they date back, good relationship with family, it's a great green flag. Here's another one, and this is important, I think surfaces rather soon, is does this person show an interest in you and your feelings and what you like, your activities, as much as they do their own? Or are they consumed with, oh, here's what I'm feeling today and blah, 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 and just what they do? If they truly show an interest, bingo.
Right. So, human beings are pretty much self-centric. So my universe emanates from this location, right? Your universe emanates from your location. So there's a certain inherent self-centeredness built into who we are as people. So the ability to care about another person and what they're doing, and I mean, I want to know what they're interested in, and I might learn something. But if they're interested in me as well and what I'm doing, it is fascinating how a person will blossom before your very eyes if they feel seen and heard, which is the human connection, right? We all want human connection. So absolutely, huge green flag.
Yeah. Here again, another one that's so important, that they take responsibility for their life. That whatever the feelings about what they've done, the consequences they've experienced, that they don't blame others. Again, that comes up, they show you that pretty early on.
Right. So you know me, and we've talked many times. My whole come from is that we are not victims, that we came here to connect and to love other people, and that we are not at effective or in control, out of control because other people don't act a certain way. So it's incredibly, it's difficult for some to realize they're even being a victim. But if somebody, the difference between somebody who is in their power and accountable, because they're happy, they're joyous, they know how to have joyful experiences. People who are stuck in victimhood are negative and they're sad and they may be depressed, and that's not, I'm not talking about a clinical depression, but they're stuck in the quagmire of this thought process, this mindset. And again, that can be changed, but it's not, I don't want a project. I don't want to change someone. I want to connect with someone and have a partner. So that's a green flag when somebody's able to meet you where you're at.
Yeah. Well, and talk about not wanting to take care of someone. I think that these are rather obvious, but somebody who takes care of themselves emotionally, physically, somebody who works out, and somebody who takes care of their finances. And this is not about looking for somebody with money. This is for looking people who are self-sufficient and not, need somebody else in their life to be happy or productive.
So this is for me a two-parter, and it's brilliant. We Taking care of yourself. My whole come from in life right now, and I've used that term twice, so I apologize. But it's about being healthy and well, being healthy, strong, and well. That's it. I don't need to be. I'll never be young again. I'll never be twiggy. I just want to be healthy, and I want to be well, and I want a partner who's there too. And I have a love, and if something happened to him, I would totally be there for him. And that's like that's something that cannot be avoided. But he works out, he takes care of himself, he eats well, he's doing everything he can not to get to that point. But if it happens, it happens, and vice versa. He would take care of me, but I'll do everything I can to stay independent and functional. Now, going to the money part, because this pushes some buttons for some of your viewers, which is, so it's always good to touch on it. It's not about how much money a person has, but how do they manage it? Are they in debt? Are they using Amazon to self-medicate? So you do want somebody who's at least willing to change it, work on it, have financial freedom in the future if they don't have it now. Now would be good.
Yeah, great point. It's not about how much, but how it's managed, and are they financially sufficient alone? The other, and maybe we'll close on this one again. It's rather obvious, but absolutely worth mentioning. Mm-hmm. It's to have a positive and optimistic outlook and a great sense of humor, and obviously that's something you can tell right away, right?
Yes. So here's the thing. You have to first have faith that joy is available to you. So it's amazing if you meet somebody and that's the green flag, and they're connected to their inner self, their inner worth.
Yeah. I mean, to me, there's nothing worse than being around somebody who's constantly negative. I just can't take it. And
yeah,
I love when somebody just, the energy's there and makes you feel good. Well, there's lots to talk about. We could talk about this forever. I think it is important, and like you said, you change your mindset, you rewire your brain to looking for the positive versus the negative. I'll link to this article. Like I said, there's about 24 points. Don't have to have all of them by any means, but it does get you to think whether or not you're on the right track, perhaps with a person that you're with. Joni, is there anything else you want to add? Something that you feel is important?
Well, I think I went off on a couple tangents already. I would just say that thank you so much for what you do. Thank you to your viewers and how they interact with you and the questions that come up, because they're very thought-provoking and to me very interesting. So I'm just humble and honored to be able to participate with you, all of
Oh,
you.
thank you, Joni. Well, we'll see you
Yeah.
soon again on Second Act TV. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. The button is right here. Just click on through to YouTube, and when you see the little bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that too, and we'll notify you every time we launch a new video. See you next time.